Now, the main thing that you need to know about the subconscious mind, it can be reprogrammed. That's why I talk heavily about your anxiety patterns actually being able to be reprogrammed. Because at the moment, your subconscious brain has these habits, these patterns, these belief systems that are running your anxiety patterns. When we actually reprogram them, it changes. You just need to reprogram the subconscious. Everything that you need to know to reprogram your anxiety. That is exactly what I'm going to be talking about in today's video, because let's face it, you have literally tried every surface level thing, right? You've tried the breathing techniques. You've tried the meditation. You've been to the yoga. You've been to the yoga retreats. You've tried the medication. You have tried therapy. You have tried CBT. You've tried EDF tapping, maybe. I don't even know if it's EDF, if it's EMT. I don't know, whatever, right? You've tried it, maybe even hypnotherapy. And none of it has worked, right? And here in this video, I'm going to tell you why. The pattern of anxiety stems from the subconscious mind. You don't even realize it, but all of your patterns, behaviors, feelings, emotions, all of that runs from the subconscious mind. The subconscious main job is to keep you safe, okay? Subconscious brain actually believes there's some sort of danger going on. Based on past experiences, it could be based on belief systems. There is a reason why in that moment where you're most anxious and panicky, the subconscious thinks that this is dangerous, right? That's why it literally feels like there is a lion standing in front of you ready to eat you. That's the real danger, because the subconscious mind is running the show and it believes there's something dangerous happening here. So when you're doing all of these surface level things like your nervous system resets, your yoga, your breathing techniques, all of this doesn't actually go to the root of the problem. It doesn't actually reprogram the subconscious mind. So you might be able to have less anxiety for a period of time, but the pattern always comes back around. And that's because you've been doing the surface level for so long. The surface level coping and managing. But the pattern of your anxiety patterns are in the subconscious brain. So I want to give you some facts about the subconscious mind so that you can actually understand it. And then I'm going to relate it back to anxiety, because it coincides. Like, your anxiety patterns happen because of your subconscious mind. So first off, the most important thing that you need to know about the subconscious mind is it literally runs 95% of your daily habits, your emotions, your conscious thoughts, and of course, like I've stated, it runs your anxiety patterns. Its main job is to keep you safe at all times. It doesn't actually communicate in language like we do. So your subconscious brain, this is why every time that you say to yourself, like when you're in the most panic, anxious moments, when you say to yourself, don't worry, you're fine, you're safe, everything's going to be okay. The reason why you can't believe yourself in that moment is because your subconscious thinks this thing is dangerous. This situation that you're in, it is dangerous and it needs you to get out of it. It doesn't matter how many times that you say to yourself, you're safe, everything's okay, don't worry about it. It doesn't believe you because it doesn't speak in the communication language of thought. It doesn't communicate like your conscious brain. The subconscious actually speaks in thoughts and feelings and patterns and what's familiar. Your subconscious brain likes safety and it likes familiarity. So that's why it loves routine so much, right? Because it feels safe and it feels familiar. Your subconscious mind doesn't actually differentiate between reality and imagination. That's why when you watch a movie, the emotion feels so real, because the subconscious mind believes this thing is actually happening. What you're watching, it believes it is happening. It's where your habits live. So habits and belief systems live in the subconscious brain. So things like breathing, your heart pounding and beating, digestion, your thoughts, everything is automatic in the subconscious brain. And to give you an example of this that I find absolutely fascinating, when you first learned to drive, it was really hard. It was like, you know, I've got to try and think of the gear stick. I've got to try and do the clutch. I've got to try and steer. I've got to focus on the road. I've got to not run anyone over. At first, that was so hard. You couldn't do that all together. But now, after years of driving, it has become a habit. And now that habit lives in the subconscious mind. That is the exact same as your anxiety patterns. Everything that you have experienced over time and time and time again is a habit in the subconscious brain. Now, the main thing that you need to know about the subconscious mind, it can be reprogrammed. That's why I talk heavily about your anxiety patterns actually being able to be reprogrammed. Because at the moment, your subconscious brain has these habits, these patterns, these belief systems that are running your anxiety patterns. When we actually reprogram them, it changes. You just need to reprogram the subconscious. So you've been doing all of these surface level things like your breathing techniques, nervous system resets, the yoga, all of that jazz, right? And the reason that it still comes back around and the anxiety still comes back around is because the subconscious mind has the old roots and the old patterns. And that doesn't change unless you do the subconscious reprogramming. So, big question, how do we actually reprogram the subconscious mind? The first thing that I do when I work with any client is add some awareness, start processing and being aware of what the patterns are. What are your limiting beliefs? What are the patterns that actually stem from this? So that's where I would look at when you feel you're most fearful, when you feel you're most anxious, when you feel the most panicky, and actually diving into the deep reasons of why you feel that way. What are you scared of? What do you believe about yourself in that moment? And I've done it in loads of other YouTube videos where we actually dive in to find the limiting belief. I think I actually did it on the last one. But we actually need to find out what's running the show. What's the panic? What's the belief that is going to happen? And what is that limiting belief that's running the show? And then what we do to actually reprogram is create new neuro pathways. I want you to envision it like this. And this always really helps me to visually see it, right? In your subconscious mind, there are neuro pathways that have been built, right? And I always visual these neuro pathways like paths, like footpaths. You know when you walk the dog, right? And you go on a public footpath and it's trodden down, okay? So it's trodden down really hard. That is the pattern of your anxiety right now. It's this footpath that's literally been trodden down. It's the automatic response. It's the automatic pathway that people go on when they walk their dogs. To create new neuro pathways with new patterns, new belief systems, new ways of thinking, we need to create a new pathway, which is where like all the brambles, all the grasses, all of that stuff, right? We actually need to tread down that path. And it takes some time. You need to create and subconsciously reprogram and create these new neuro pathways if you want to actually see change. When you're tired, more fatigued, you'll go straight back to the old neuro pathway, the pathway that's familiar, the pattern that you know so well, the anxiety pattern, right? And that's why I see so many people coming back around. They do these things that help and ease off their anxiety, then it comes straight back around and happens again. So it's so important to build those neuro pathways and create the new belief and the new patterns in the subconscious mind. How do we do that? We create new evidence, we create new proof of the new belief. I actually have created a new program starting on the 15th of September. It's about the subconscious mind. It's called the Subconscious Reset. And it's a 2-week program where I'm going to be diving into the depths of the subconscious mind to teach you exactly what is happening, the patterns of your anxiety, the belief systems running the show. And then I'm actually going to be teaching you how to reprogram the subconscious mind. Because I can sit here and talk about it all day, but actually actioning that is the hardest thing. And I want to show you into that. So the Subconscious Reset starts on the 15th September. It's a 2-week course where I'm going to be teaching you, like I said, everything about the subconscious mind and how to actually reprogram that for good. And there's going to be so much. I'm not just going to be teaching, I'm going to be actually showing you your patterns and actually finding out what you need to be doing to reprogram them. The subconscious is an incredible feature of our human body. Its job is to keep us safe. We just need to make sure that it's keeping us safe in a way that serves us. And at the moment, the anxiety patterns that you have, the going to the supermarket, the driving the long distances, being away from home seemed as dangerous in the subconscious mind. We just need to reprogram that. We need to actually build safety in the subconscious mind so that none of that feels scary, that these patterns that you have aren't feel fearful, right? So my biggest tip to you today is 1, join the reset, the subconscious reset. I'll put the link below this video. But 2, start diving into the root of your anxiety. The surface level stuff, the medication, the breathing techniques is great, right? But it's not going to get rid of this anxiety pattern. It will always just come back around because the root of it is in the subconscious mind. If this has been helpful, pop a comment below, like it. If you want to know more about the subconscious reset, you have any questions, you can pop me a message over on Instagram. See you in the next video.